You good?
DJ Williams, what's happening, brother?
Hey, how you doing, man?
All is well.
Appreciate you checking in with me here at the Live Room Podcast. People, we have Mr. Raheem Devaughn here, man. It's a pleasure, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your patience, man. It's been a drilling day. It started with homeschooling my oldest, and it just threw off my schedule a little bit. So I appreciate your patience.
Hey, no problem, no problem. I definitely know how it is with that whole COVID situation. Shook up the world, man.
Indeed.
So I see you got a new single out here. Marvin used to say, I've listened to that joint a lot. I actually love it because it gives us what a lot of music is not giving us through these trying times right now. Can you just give me a rundown how you went about formulating that single and putting it out here for the people?
Yeah, for me, I'll be honest with you, like it kind of jumped. I go look. Sometimes I go looking for the inspiration, or I kind of like channel it, I guess. You know what I mean? And I knew that was a record that people were kind of waiting on from me. Probably, most likely. You know what I mean? And it started out very organically. Big shout out to Loverboy Vo, Mike Blaze, Desperados. Just my allies, they out in North Carolina, up and coming producers, independent, nice with the pen. You know what I mean? So the record came across my entirety, wasn't fully complete. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like there was something there, and I felt like it was just, it was God moving, man. And they allowed me to come in and co-write on the record and make it, make it mine, make it authentic, make it something that can be like an anthem for the movement, but also a tribute to Marvin, and you know what I mean, and something that kind of like stick out in terms of like that resonates for Black music. That when you look back on this time and time capsule, that'll be a record that was like, yo, that spoke to like what was going on right now. Just like Marvin's record and his catalogs spoke to us 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago. Even right now, that music is still so important, rich, and vibrant and authentic,
Most definitely, because that's one thing that's important about right now. We have celebrities, we have athletes, social activists speaking about everything that's going on right now. It's just so much going on, but we have yet to really hear abundance of artists, channel that within their music. We have some that, that may have mentioned it, but we don't have that, like that what's going on record, like that Marvin Gaye record of the time or whatever. And it's just big that you went about doing it that way. And I really appreciate that from a consumer standpoint and from somebody who understands what's going on, and you being the voice for that at the moment. Shout out to Mika Mallory, my son, and other social activists and people involved with the movement. Have you been in touch with them as far as joining them and what they have going on with their movement?
We haven't spoken like directly, but I'm aware that they like some of the individuals that have even reached out, like some of the Muslim brothers that I mentioned at the end of the record. They reached out like via DM, or I see them follow me, or like repost. I didn't really do it for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously we connected, you know what I'm saying? So I mentioned them, you know what I'm saying? Like when I say that, like even for the individual, I don't know all of them too well, but I know them enough where we cross in passing, but I know we kindred spirits, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really do it for the more so like the shout out, but more so like to let them know, like, you're not out here alone. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody can't be on the front line, you know what I'm saying, for a number of different reasons, right? Whether it's, you got a household that's affected by COVID, or there's health risks or concerns, or, and to see them put their life on the line, be away from their families, their children. They're making a huge sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? They're making those sacrifices that, the ancestors before us did. and they all have very unique stories as to why they're doing it. So I wanted to again just acknowledge them. And you know, there's other people I mentioned. There's an extended version of that song that's going to be on the album. You know, where I mentioned Trey the Truth, you know, out of Houston. I mentioned David Banner, who's a, you know, somebody I love and respect as a brother. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's one of those things, man, where music can put a spotlight on a movement. It can put a spotlight on a concern. You know, it can, you know, and it can be entertaining too. You know what I mean? But everything can't be for the bag, for the look. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like this one here is for the movement. It's for the culture. This song in particular. You know.
Most definitely. And I mean, this goes without saying, but pretty much with any movement, there was always soundtracks to the movement, different people that contributed. So even if you're not on the front line doing it, just you addressing it and putting that time stamp on it within the music, that's still important. Because if we go back and look in the history of things with civil rights and everything in that movement, there were always music that was of the time. So, you know, you having that record, I think it shouldn't be minimized how important it is that you did do that, you know?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And I've been doing it. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to everybody just jumping on board. You know, some there's that gray area where it can be kind of misconstrued. Some artists just kind of just jumping on the bandwagon. You know, you wonder how sincere it is and not sincere. Like, at the end of the day, I don't think we can really question that. Like, I don't care. Like, the fact that if you're taking that time to make a record or a tie that body of work or what have you, you know, for the movement, to bring more awareness to what it is, you know, especially in this industry. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's not easy. I know what I've encountered or feel like I've encountered, you know, by being, you know, I've been on the front line. 10 years ago, I made a record called Bulletproof with Ludacris. You know what I mean? It went on to be iconic. The entire album was nominated for a Grammy, the Love and War Masterpiece album at that time. And I was torn and conflicted when I put that out. This time I wasn't torn and conflicted. Like, I knew what it was. Like, I knew that it's needed, and I don't have nobody to answer to. I'm my own boss. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're here to be, you know, to strictly entertain, or you feel like the message is too heavy, cool, I get it. But the message is the message. The reality is we in heavy times. You know what I mean? And you know, I feel like it's some healing in there too, though, with it. You know what I mean? Because music has the ability to do that as well.
Understood. Definitely understood. You mentioned a new album. Give me some info about this new album you got. What a Time to Be in Love. You know, for the R&B lovers out there, man, you got this new record. Tell me about it.
Well, I say Marvin used to say is definitely the lead single, and it speaks to, you know, the social climate of this country and the planet, and but don't get it twisted. It's a lot of records on here that, you know, a lot. There will be some laying and spraying. There will be some beautiful babies born and conceived from this, you know, project. And on a serious note, it's to really celebrate and push the narrative to continue to celebrate Black love. You know, if you are in a great relationship and, you know, or you fighting for that love and you ain't tapped out or what have you, like, it's there for you. Like, I'm here for you. I got, you know what I mean? And you can enjoy them back to back to back. You know, some people call it a slow jam playlist. I call it a laylist. There's plenty of laylist music on here as well. Yeah, and the album will be out November 20th. The album will be out November 20th, so November 20th. You can enjoy. You know, Marvin used to say, "For now, that's just an appetizer," and I'm real curious to see how it's going to be received. You know, I feel like it's a lot of. If you like the way I kind of put the phrasing and the words together, it's like definitely I was in my bag, like creating in the writing process.
Definitely dig it, and we need that back in R&B. You know, it's a weird time for music and the way it's consumed as far as live shows and everything. And I know you and your bag in your live shows. I told some ladies I was going to be interviewing you today, and they were like, "Oh, we love Raheem Devaughn. I seen him in this concert or this show."
Yeah.
And it's just like when COVID happened, it kind of slowed up that process for live shows. And I know that would have been great with this album coming out. How have you adjusted through this whole COVID situation and your creativity with music and everything?
Well, for one, I never stopped doing shows even when COVID hit. I've been doing online concerts. Um, um, to check one of those out or kind of know when the next one is, you can follow me, you know, for everybody watching the interview, you can follow me at stageit.com/Raheem Devaughn 575. Again, that's stageit.com/Raheem Devaughn 575. You know, create a profile page, you know, set your email up and everything, and you'll get an alert when I do an online concert, you know, live from the crib, you know what I mean? You know, and uh, as well as I've been doing these pull up, you know, the parking lot pull up concerts as well. I did my first one with Music Soul Child 2 weeks ago, 2 Saturdays
I did
ago.
see the fly for that one.
Yeah, and that was a great experience. We had over anywhere between 400 to 600 cars. 600 is a sellout, so we close to sold it out or it's sold out. I'm not sure. I just got confirmed for a pull up concert in Atlanta, ATL, for this month. As well as I think they're working on Birmingham as well. So the phone's starting to ring for that type of thing. You know, great experience. You know, different, but you know, I just quit, and people were definitely checking for it. It's been interesting. You know what I mean?
So it's like the parking lot concerts. That's what you're referring to for the future days.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I've seen how those joints are coming about. It looks not only interesting, but it kind of takes me back to like the college vibe for me, because it's like people are not just sitting in their cars looking through the windshield. Like they all
like,
out with it.
You know what it is? It's like a safe. It's like a safe tailgate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody's area is kind of like roped off. It's enough space in between the cars and the area. People jump out the car and kind of get the tailgate on. You know, mask up. That whole thing. And it's all good, man. And you know, for people that didn't want to jump out the car, it's a little too cold. You know, they had it. You can enjoy it through the windshield, and you can also adjust your radio station to the, you know, your radio to the you know, station where you can hear the live concert. So it's dope, man. Dope concept. You know, you never know what you're capable of doing and accomplishing until you put in a circumstance where you gotta, you know, reinvent yourself and challenge yourself to be great. You know, even in the home and, you know, things I do at the crib, you know what I mean? Definitely those have been fun as well. You know, you get, you know, people 100, 250, 250 people to buy a ticket to see you online. Like, that's big for me. You know what I'm saying? Like my max, I've done a few online concerts. I'm gonna be setting some dates for some new stuff, you know, waiting to see what happens with the second wave. But people still want to be entertained. They need that sense of escapism, and to be able to sell 200, 300 tickets, and for people, or, you know, set your own ticket price, and people cop a ticket, and it's like, you know, they get dressed. I did the meet and greets. I do the meet and greets on the live after the show. You know, we jump on. They talk about the show experience. We taking pics. I let them take the picture with the screenshot. Like, I really push it to the edge and have fun with it. You know, I'm still in love with what I do, and just because, you know, things are going on doesn't mean that, you know, you can't still work. You know what I mean? You still can't work, and you still can't put a value to what you do, and you know, and find a cool way to do it. And the fans have been major supporters. So, you know, big shout out to Love Queen Nation and everybody that's been supporting the wave, you know, during this time.
Definitely. Hey man, as a consumer, like I said, as a music lover, I appreciate all the different creative ways that you are, you know, giving back to the fans and making sure that, you know, we're still entertained, because you guys have families and things that you all deal with throughout this COVID situation, and just still being able to put that out there and give us the music that we all know and love is definitely appreciated. Appreciated.
Yeah.
So,
it's therapeutic. I realized during the process, like, it's therapeutic. It hasn't only been therapeutic for them, it's therapeutic for me. You know what I mean? So it's fair exchange, no robbery. Appreciate it as well.
Dope. Very dope. You know, the funny thing about it, me and a lot of others, we were first introduced to you through your single Customer.
Uh-huh.
but one of the best records
Mm-hmm.
that I still listen to that just gives me that good feeling and that
Mm-hmm.
good vibe is the record that you featured on for Game's album Touchdown.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I wanted to I always want to ask you about that. So if I interview him, I want to
Uh-huh.
ask him how did that come about because we don't see you really collaborate with a lot of hip hop artists. And this is Game, the second album was coming off of a big record, and this one was going to be critically acclaimed. How did you all get together for that record around that time frame? Can you recall
Yeah,
how that came about?
for me, one of my homies, man, he ended up doing like A&R for like he ended up working for Dre. He ended up becoming like an exec. You know what I'm saying? He's from Atlanta, and he had gave me a call. Signed to Eminem back in the day. He gave me a call, come out and work on Dre's album. Initially, I was out in LA to work on Dre's album, and but they were working on the Game too. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I pull up, you know, and I didn't know what it's like to work with Drake before, like, you know, so I'm pulling up thinking like, all right, they called me, then they got something, I got something, they missing something, I got what they need. And that, so first thing I do, I turn to the homie and say, man, all right, so what Dre need for this album that he ain't got? And then he looked at me like, man, fool, he Dr. Dre. It ain't nothing he ain't got. He get to playing records, like unreleased stuff with like, man, this dope joints, like joints that Jay wrote, like crazy, right? And then you know, me and Chuck, the Game, we clicked and it was like, yo, so we had kind of made a plan. I was gonna come back the next day and just start banging on some stuff for him. And it happened real organic, man. You know, go through some beats. I heard one I like, yo, pull that up. I go in, lay the hook. He went in, and I remember when he went in a booth, and he started laying a rhyme, and then he would lead the gaps, and then he did the whispers, and I was like, yo, I'd have never thought, you know what I'm saying? I would have never thought of that. I just thought that was just like super creative, you know. And then he had, and then the part when I step up in the club, you know it's going down here tonight. He wrote that part, like he wrote that,
Oh,
you know.
okay.
Yeah, he was like, yo, I want you to sing it. So it was cool, man. We was just like back and forth, you know, good vibes. The trees was in the air, his homies in the air. I felt like I felt right at home. You know, I come from humble beginnings, so I never grew up around like gang culture. You know what I'm saying? But I felt at home. Like I felt the love. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was safe. It had some pistols in there. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like it was cool. Like you know what I mean? It
You
was
know that
a straight. It was the I love the West Coast, man. Like you know what I mean. I love the artists. I love the energy. You know what I'm saying? The energy just be like pure, and it's like you know, I think when I think of West Coast rappers, they're like the especially quote unquote like gangster rap. I was a guy that would listen like growing up. I'm listening to Public Enemy and then I'm popping in NWA. You know what I'm saying? I could pull from both and appreciate, get what I need to get from both. You know what I'm saying? And it's the fact, you know, they just hustlers, man. Like they, you know, out that whole out the trunk mentality. You know what I mean? Like it was just like it was good vibes, man. You know what I'm saying? Working with them, working on that album. Yeah, dope.
so because when I listen to that record, you would think that you would like because it channeled so much of the West Coast feeling. You'd be like, man, this dude from LA too, because it's just
Well,
like
that was the thing.
that's how it sounds. Like you
That
just
was the thing.
embodied it.
When I heard when they played a beat, I think 1500 did that joint too, if I'm not mistaken. But when I heard the beat, in my mind, all I was saying was whether Dre end up on it or when I was on the West Coast, when anything, I was like, man, I gotta get whatever I do, I gotta give him an anthem. I gotta give him a single. It's gotta be a single. You know what I'm saying? Only thing with that, I was blown. Like it never. I don't know if they put it out as a single. I feel like it was like I was just waiting for the call for the video. You know what I mean? Because I just felt like it was a single worthy. But I just know like that labels, you know, when the label gets involved and all that, it gets crazy. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to give him I wanted to give him an anthem. I was like, yo, if I'm gonna do this, like that was an opportunity, and you don't drop the ball, in moments like that, because I didn't know who was gonna hear it. I didn't know they were gonna end up saying, man, Dre gonna jump on it, or Dre want to take the record. I was just, so I just was on my A game with it,
Yeah, you definitely did your thing on that. You've been in the game for a long time. We talk about R&B is one of those things that just never dies. People say sometimes R&B dies, whatever, but I feel like in any genre, this is one of the genres that live on forever because there's no age limit to where the fans
at all,
start thinking people phase out on it. And you're
at
on
all.
what? This next album is what, your 8th album, correct?
Yeah, album number 8. Yep.
So as far as the longevity, like what keeps you going at this point?
I'm self-motivated, man. I'm self-motivated. I'm ambitious, but more importantly, though, I still love what I do. You know what I mean? When you love what you do, it's easy to just do it. I'm a workhorse. I stay in there, constantly making music, constantly making records. Like, it's I'm a culture shifter. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, and the fans, the music lovers, they keep me going too.
Dope, real dope. The nickname, the Love King. Tell me about it, man. How do you get coined the Love King, man?
Man, that started out with a conversation me and previous managers, like, but it's never about what I call myself, it's about what the world called me. So that's the world
Right.
saying it, mission accomplished. You know what I
Love
mean?
King, because that's a big title to give yourself in the R&B game, man. The Love
Yeah.
King, man. So
Yeah.
I listen to your records and I'm like, all right, I'm looking for that type of music. So, and that's exactly what you've been giving the fans. That's exactly what you've been giving us throughout the years, man. It's such feel good music, and it's a pleasure to be able to talk to you about this all.
Yeah.
On another note, the versus battles. Have you been tuned into
them? Yeah, I have. I not all of them. But yeah, they've been interesting. You know what I'm saying? Dope vibes. You know what I'm saying?
So, with that being said, if you had a chance to do a versus battle, who
Mm-hmm.
could you see yourself doing one against?
Man, anybody can get it. I'm whoever they want to throw me in the mix with, let's have it. You know what I mean? I welcome the call, and I would love to do it. And you know what I mean? I think that definitely would expose me to more music lovers. You know what I'm saying? And anybody can get it, man. I'm open to whoever, whatever, whenever.
Most definitely. Man, it's been so big. It's been for the culture, and it seems like it's just getting bigger and bigger. Everyone that they do, so it's good to see you all in that space as well.
Yeah.
Again, I appreciate you. Anything else you want to say to the people, man, and any information you want to give out as far as future coming shows or anything?
Yeah, for sure. Once again, new singles out. Marvin used to say, available on all digital platforms. The new album, What a Time to Be in Love, produced by the colleagues, will be out November 20th. The pre-order will be up during the month of October. Look out for that. For more information on the album, the pre-order, and anything else I got going on movement-wise, be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Raheem_Devaughn. Once again, that's Raheem_Devaughn. Yeah, man, I appreciate the interview, and I look forward to possibly coming back, in sometime in the near future.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. You can lock in because I would love to be able to speak to you in the future about anything else you got going on, man. And this is a special thing. I had 2 young ladies that when I posted the flyer of me doing an interview with you, they both commented, "I love Raheem Devaughn." And one of their names is Jody, and the other one name is Jessica. Can you please give them a shout out for me?
Hey, Miss Jody, Miss Jessica, Miss Jody and Jessica, Jessica and Jody is the Love King of R&B. Love to you as well. Thank you for supporting the wave and the movement. And yo, I'm out here. I appreciate you. You keep me going. Love life.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for checking in with the Living Room Podcast, man. Appreciate everything you got going. I can't say that enough, man. Well wishes to you.
Thank you, bro. Love life. Peace.
No problem. All right, now.